Hello and welcome to WCBN FM Ann Arbor's broadcast of Michigan Soccer. We are coming at you live from U of M Soccer Stadium in downtown, well, close enough to downtown Ann Arbor, Michigan. Today, the Wolverines are taking on the West Virginia Mountaineers in their home opener in this 2015 regular season. I'm Morris Fabry alongside Dalton Pataki, and Michigan's coming into this one off of a loss in their regular season opener against the Creighton Jays. Creighton, the number 6 ranked team in the nation, controlled the game for the most part, but the Wolverines managed to keep it close. Sophomore keeper Evan Loro had 7 saves, which was the highest of any Big Ten keeper in the opening weekend. And the Wolverines fell 1-0 today. They look to turn the tables a bit against the West Virginia Mountaineers. Dalton, what should we look for today?
Well, the Michigan Wolverines really got to get a couple of runs and challenge Diaz as much as they can. Good goalkeeper out of West Virginia. And, you know, the defense just got to keep what they do. And Creighton, who they lost to earlier this year, they're number 6 in the nation. And are expected to win their conference. And the Michigan Wolverines did a good job defensively. They just got to try and get this offense going, score the first goal of the season.
West Virginia coming in at 1-1 on the year. Michigan running a 4-3-3 formation. At the back in goal will be Evan Loro. On the left side, the left fullback will be number 27, Riley Woods. The left center back is number 6, Lars Eckenrode. At right center back, number 3, Morris. Right fullback, number 4, Billy Stevens. And we are already underway as looked like Morris cleared it up the left side. Now it's back and forth play through the midfield, and it's booted up into the air. Will be fielded around midfield, headed forward toward the left side. Michigan playing from left to right in front of us. Long ball is won down by Marcelo Borges down the left side. He's stops at the edge of the box. A lot of contact there. No call. Physical play by the Mountaineers. Wolverines come out with possession. They have it now along the right side. It is Stevens for the Wolverines near midfield. Passes it down low to Atuahene. Atuahene on the right side, dancing around with it. Trying to get around Zach Leadham, the left back. Gets around him. He's slide tackled from behind. An aggressive and risky challenge by Leadham. And a foul is called. The Wolverines will have a free kick from about halfway between midfield and that 18-yard box on the right side. There's a well-attended game here at UM Soccer Field. Not a lot of students in attendance, but the adults, the parents, and the fans have come out on our side of the field.
U of M doing a great job attacking early on in this game, keeping it inside the attacking third for the early part.
Woods bends in the free kick. It's headed up. It's bouncing down into the box. Coming in from behind is Hayden Bennett for the Mountaineers, and he clears it well out of bounds, out of the stadium and into some trees out beyond the student section. The Wolverines will have a throw-in. It will be taken by Riley Woods.
Beautiful day for soccer at UM Stadium.
Woods gets it into Murphy, back to Woods on the left side, tries a cross. It's deflected out of play, and the Michigan Wolverines will have a corner kick from the left side here. Looks like that one will be taken by number 23, Tyler Anderson. Anderson playing left center defensive mid for the Wolverines today. The right center mid will be Brett Nason. They kick the corner kick in, but something called by the ref. Not sure what's going on exactly, but they'll reset and retake the corner kick.
Just a little jostling in the box.
Yeah, probably something along those lines. Anderson readies. Crosses it in. It's a curler, and it goes out of bounds. Got across the face of the goal and didn't touch any bodies before it went back out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for the Mountaineers, taken by Daniel Diaz.
Michigan's got to try and capitalize on the momentum they have there. Just 3 minutes in and already a couple of good scoring chances.
Diaz looks like he'll boot it up the field as most of the Mountaineers are lined up well ahead. No, he'll pass it on the ground instead to his right center back, Hayden Bennett. Bennett up the right side to Lewis Thomas, the right back. Thomas to the center, where they'll find Mike Desiderio. Desiderio turns it over. The Wolverines have it now. A quick 1-2 up the left side to Borges. Marcelo Borges stops, turns to his right, fakes a pass, now dumps it down low. Down the left side is Nason. Nason crosses into the box, and it'll be handled by Diaz. Comes out of the goal and snatches out of there. He'll boot it up in the air toward midfield.
On the cross by Nason McAtee had an excellent header chance, just a little too high.
Ball in the air, brought down by Atuahene, cleared up the field. It's going back and forth between the two teams, kind of like a match of volleyball right now. Ball's finally booted out of bounds on Michigan's defensive side of midfield on the right side by Zach Leadham. The Wolverines will throw it in and get it back to their goalkeeper, Laurel. Takes his time with the ball at his foot. Fakes a pass up the left side, looking downfield, waiting for some runs. West Virginia converges on him, so he boots it all the way down the field. McAtee, bodied from behind, can't win the header. And West Virginia wins it back to their keeper, Diaz. McAtee charging toward Diaz, who kicks it back up the field, across midfield, up the left side. That one will be headed out of bounds by Riley Woods, and the Wolverines will reset on defense.
Safe play by Woods just to head it out of bounds, allow the defense to get set, and hopefully clear this West Virginia attack.
West Virginia, the throw in up the right side is handled there by the striker, Jack Driscoll. Driscoll, his pass deflected out of bounds by a Wolverine. West Virginia back on the throw. The throw-in will be ceded to Lewis Thomas, the right back for the Mountaineers, wearing number 2. He throws it in to Joey Piatek. Piatek leaves it off to Driscoll at the edge of the box. Out to the right side, Thomas, a low cross into the box, cleared out of there by the Wolverines' number 6, Lars Eckenrode. And now the Wolverines trying to catch the Mountaineers on the counter. And running up the field was the Wolverines' Marcelo Borges. He was bodied up from behind. A foul was called, and the Wolverines will have a free kick in their defensive end. Looks like it'll be Morris taking the free kick. Crosses over to Eckenrode. They pass it around and back to the goalie, Laura, having a little booted out of bounds under some pressure by Joey. Accepting responsibility, tapping his chest as he did not handle the pass back as well as he could have.
Michigan in the all blue with yellow letter kits today, and the West Virginia Mountaineers all white with blue and outlined in gold letters. For them, Michigan will be moving from left to right across your radio dial. West Virginia the opposite way.
Both sides looking pretty crisp, I got to say, on this lovely September afternoon. It'll be Leadham, the left back, with a long throw and header backwards across the box. Another header is blocked down by the Wolverines midfielder. Now it's crossed back into the box, and that one went out of play.
Great play by Neeson there to really get physical inside the box and head the ball out to where they couldn't get a second crack at a goal off the throw-in cross.
Yeah, that ball was bouncing around inside the 6-yard box, and Nason got his head in the way of a potential open header on the doorstep for the Mountaineers. As it stands, Michigan with a goal kick. Lauro, a hard line drive looping toward the left side, finds Borges, bounces off of his head and out of bounds. That one came in a little too hot to handle. West Virginia will have the throw in along the far side of the field, right in front of the Michigan Ultras. They're being very loud and raucous. And some physical defense over there by Woods forces a turnover by the Mountaineers. He'll throw it in to Murphy. Murphy's pass is cut out and knocked back, but it will be handled by Michigan's Andre Morris. He plays it back to Lauro. Lauro takes his time. Now plays a long ball up the right side looking for Atuahene, and that ball is headed out of bounds by Zach Leadham of the Mountaineers. Atuahene seeds the throw-in to number 4, Billy Stevens. Stevens tosses it into Anderson at midfield. Anderson down to Murphy. Quick ball in. A hard tackle there by Leadham on Atuahene. Was trying to get down the right side and get in across. The ball trickles out of bounds. No foul called. The throw-in will be taken by Billy Stevens. Stevens on the right side, about even with the edge of the 18-yard box. Dumps it down to Atuahene. Tries to get across, and it's a hard cross. Nobody on the other end for the Wolverines. And it's cleared up by the Mountaineers. It is headed back in by Woods. Now headed down toward the box. Murphy fighting for it. Wolverines all fighting for it. It's one finally back to Woods on the left side. He'll try to get in across. That one's blocked out of play and behind the goal line for a corner kick.
Great job by McAtee there to kick the ball out to Borges, who was able to take it in and tried to cross it, went off a West Virginia defender, and sets him up with another great scoring opportunity on the corner here.
Yeah, McAtee showing a lot of effort to keep that play alive for the Wolverines and maintain possession. The corner is whipped right into the box. Wolverines trying to leap for a header. It's headed out. Handled at the edge of the box. A soft shot, diving save. There, not a lot on that shot by Borges, but he got it in the direction of the net. Nice save by Diaz. Now Atuahene at the edge. A lefty shot. Stayed low and stayed wide to the right side probably the best chance the Wolverines have had so far, draws some applause from the crowd, and just comes up empty.
Like you said, Borges didn't have a lot behind the shot, but, you know, as a goalie, with all those defenders in front, if that thing gets through without being deflected, that's tough to see. And great diving stop by Diaz to keep it out. And then Atuahene with the nutmeg inside the 18 to put a good lefty shot on goal. But Diaz is keeping it clean.
Diaz clears it downfield. It's handled by the Wolverines. A little chest flick back by number 9, James Murphy. And then he tried to kick the ball to himself, but got his foot a little bit too high. Got close to the face of the center back, Hayden Bennett of the Mountaineers. A foul is called, and West Virginia has a free kick on their side of midfield. It'll be the right back, Thomas, taking the free kick. Looking for open players. Wearing white, he sends it downfield. Soft header, a backwards kick by the striker Driscoll is not enough to contain it. It trickles onto the feet of Evan Loro.
Loro's too good of a goalkeeper to get that one by him.
Not much of a chance for the Mountaineers. Now a long through ball up the field by number 4, Billy Stevens. Out of the reach of Colin McAteen. It'll go all the way back down to Daniel Diaz at the other end for the Mountaineers. Diaz picks up the ball, walks across, rolls it out to Hayden Bennett. Bennett with a long ball up the right side, a searching ball, and it looks like they may have the Wolverines out of position. It will be handled along the right side by Thomas. Stops at the right side, leaves it back. A low searching cross into the box, softly headed away by Stevens. It's at the edge of the box for the Mountaineers. It's handled by number 9, Ryan Kane. And now the Wolverines win it. Atuahene looking to catch him on the counter. Bodied up heavily crossing the midfield.
That may be a card.
Looks like the ref is reaching for that yellow card, and the yellow card will be handed to Mike Desiderio, who really was overly physical in stopping that Wolverines counterattack. That looked like it might be something dangerous.
Well, the way the rule states, Morris, is it wasn't that physical of a play. It's just if you break up a scoring opportunity, which it would have went on to a 2-on-2, almost a 2-on-1 because of the position of the West Virginia defenders. But because Desiderio broke up the opportunity, that earned him a card, not so much the physicality of the play.
It's a long pass into the box, headed away by Hayden Bennett of the Mountaineers. A lot of body in on McAtee in the box, no call. His pass up the field is cut out and kicked out of bounds by Brett Nason. The Mountaineers with a throw-in inside their own defensive area on the far side of the field. Throw-in will be taken by Thomas. Thomas throws it up past midfield into a sea of Wolverines. It is won by the Wolverines, and now Murphy down the left side leaves it off for Borges. Borges cutting toward the middle, beats a man. Leaves it off toward the right side, and a ton of open spaces. Billy Stevens, opportunity to get a ball in. He sends it in toward the back post, and Diaz flies into the air and makes the catch on that pass. A free kick awarded because the Wolverines got too physical in the box, and now West Virginia with a chance for a counterattack. It'll be a long ball to the left side, cut out by Stevens. All he could do was knock it up in the air toward midfield, though. High header now, the ball bouncing around. It's fielded by Driscoll of the Mountaineers. Soft flick on, but it did not fool Lars Eckenrode, who clears it up the right side, right onto the waiting foot of Anderson. Anderson back to Stevens, now back to Anderson along the right side. Moves it back to Eckenrode just outside his own 18-yard box and gives it back to Loro. Loro now plays it up the left side of the field to Morris. Morris up to Woods. Long ball up the left side, looking to curl it onto the foot of McAtee, and McAtee is called outside or offside by the line judge at just past midfield.
Michigan's done a great job of helping their goalkeeper, Loro. Just anytime West Virginia's gotten a good push down their end, they've cleared it out quickly and been able to reverse the pressure.
Francio Henry, a soft pass across field, almost intercepted by Atuahene, kicked up field, and now coming in from behind and heading it forward is Jack Elliott. Now the Wolverines win it the other way, and there'll be a foot race between Zach Leadham and Atuahene. Leadham plays it back to his keeper, Diaz, who kicks it all the way down the field. That ball will be headed back forward by number 6, Eckenrode. It's then cleared out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the West Virginia Mountaineers. Ryan Kane will take it. Kane has it near midfield on the near side. They'll throw it into Kane, actually. Leadham took the throw. He'll play it back to Leadham. A lot of traffic over there. Leadham bodied off the ball, and he will get another throw-in. A little bit closer to goal. So they gained about 5 yards of real estate there. Lead them a hard throw in toward the ground. It's played back and now forward onto the foot of Kane. Kane weaving through defenders in on net, and the ball is cleared out of bounds off of Ryan Kane. Good play there by Brett Nason. The Wolverines win possession.
A lot of physical play early on out of the Michigan Wolverines, and particularly James Murphy trying to send a message early to this West Virginia squad.
Long thrown by Stevens, fielded and mishandled by Atuahene, and now a quick flick on toward Driscoll. He is bodied up and defended well there by Andre Morris. And the ball is cleared up the field by Eckenrode and bounces into the first row of the bleachers on the near side. Leadham will take the throw for the Mountaineers just past midfield on the near side. Hard throw, seeking out Merriam. Merriam heads it on toward Driscoll. Michigan wins possession, clears it all the way up the field where McAtee will be in a foot race with Francio Henry. Henry heads it backward. McAtee a chance outside the box, and Diaz has nothing he can do except slide and clear it out of play. That was not inside the 18-yard box. Diaz could not use his hands to handle that one.
Good play by Diaz, though, heads up, knowing that he had no one else back, and if McAtee gets that ball, great scoring opportunity for the Wolverines, so did a great job clearing it out.
Thrown by Stevens. Murphy has it now on the right side. Dodges one man, gets it back toward midfield to Nason. Nason across field, finds Woods on the far side. Woods dumps it down low to Borges along the left side. Cuts back inside, back to Woods. Woods with a lefty cross into the box. Murphy tried to get his left foot on it. The ball still bouncing around. It's finally cleared by the Mountaineers back up field where Driscoll and Morris will compete for it. Morris heads it forward. The ball bouncing around still. Mountaineers trying to gain possession, and an attempted pass back up field is cut out and cleared out of play by Brett Nason.
Michigan Ultras giving West Virginia a little bit of rousing down the sideline.
And now at the other end, the Mountaineers looking for Driscoll with a throw and almost found him. Eckenrode in the right place at the right time, clears it out. This Wolverines back four has been pretty solid, not letting anything serious develop for the Mountaineers. Now a throw in down the sideline. Driscoll fights for it, cannot win it. Morris in the right place with at the right time with the body. And the ball will trickle out of bounds. The Wolverines will have a goal kick.
Once again, more physical play out of the Wolverines. Morris did a good job just bodying up Driscoll so that way he wasn't allowed to play that ball and it rolled out harmlessly for a goal kick. Like you said, that Michigan back four really just keeping pressure off Lauro and helping keep this one even thus far.
Yeah, Lauro really hasn't had to make any plays so far. He's among the top 20 goalkeepers in the nation talent-wise, but today has not had to show much of that. His goal kick it traverses almost the entire length of the field. It's cleared back forward by Francio Henry of the Mountaineers, bounces around, and the Wolverines fighting for it. They win it. Atuahene gets past one with a quick move, running up the right side, in toward the box, rips a righty shot, and he scores! Francis Atuahene, missile on the ground right by Diaz into the bottom right corner. The Wolverines take a 1-0 lead here. What a run by Atuahene. One quick deke by midfield, and he was gone.
Atuahene just showcasing every facet of the game, which every young soccer player should strive for. First, receives the ball gently, makes a amazing footwork move down the sideline to get by a defender, then showcases his speed and blasts just an absolute cracker past the goalkeeper on the short side to give Michigan an early lead. 30 minutes to play in the first half.
You know, when he was running down the field, I didn't know whether he would try to pass, hold it up, make a play. Atuahene, though, as soon as he got by his man, had one thing in mind, and that's putting the ball into the back of the net, and he did so with aplomb. Michigan, a 1-0 lead here with 29:16 to go in the first half.
Atuahene lead him down the sideline, and that left Henry on an island because McAtee was also making a run, and Henry decided to take out McAtee and leave it up to Diaz to try and stop Atuahene, but the freshman was just too much for the West Virginia goalkeeper.
Ball bouncing around, cleared out by Eckenrode. Now West Virginia off the throw and has the ball on the edge of the 18. They're running into each other, and now a soft shot on goal is handled by Lauro, who goes to the ground to claim that one. It was Ryan Kane, not getting all of it, but at least forcing some pressure on the sophomore keeper for the Wolverines.
Good response for the Mountaineers to, after giving up a momentum-changing goal like that, to come out and put a little pressure of their own on.
And now some physical play across midfield. A foul committed there by Number 4, Billy Stevens, brings down a Mountaineer. Looks like the Wolverines take possession after the free kick, though. It'll be Nason sliding and getting it over to Tyler Anderson on the left side in a ton of space. Anderson leaves it off for the left back, Woods. Woods looks like he'll cross into the box. It's a low cross.
Oh.
McAtee brought down, deflection. Ottawa Henny at the other end puts it in the back of the net. Looked like they were going to call a penalty at least on Kellen McAtee, but that low lefty searching cross by Riley was bounced onto the right foot of Francis Ottawa Henny. And it looks like they're going to call offside on Francis Ottawa Henny.
Have to agree with the call because the way it looked like there was no way Ottawa Henny should have got to that ball. And, Diaz let the ref hear it and apparently must be going to school for being a lawyer because he was pretty convincing and got one goal taken away.
Yeah, the band had already, or at least the speakers playing the band had already started up playing the fight song. Everybody thought that was going to be 2-0 in favor of the Wolverines, but it is not so according to the linesman.
Ottawa Henny, though, putting that ball in at an impossible angle.
And now a low through ball up the field off the right foot of Anderson is cut out by Hayden Bennett of the Mountaineers. They're messing around at the back with it. They get it up the field, and the ball is cleared out of bounds by Stevens, doing a good job tracking upfield and preventing an easy build-up for the Mountaineers. Lead them now, playing it back to Mike Desidero. They play it back and forth. The Wolverines now win possession. Anderson plays it across the field to Woods on the far side. Woods has shown the ability to get down that left side, play toward the attacking third and sending crosses with his left foot. He's done that a few times today as Anderson sends a long ball right into the waiting hands of Daniel Diaz. West Virginia now with possession in their defensive third. Leadham playing it back to the center back, Henry. Henry taking his time, plays it across to Hayden Bennett. Bennett up to the midfielder, Elliott. The Mountaineers slowly working this one up the field. And now a pass cut out by Anderson. Anderson plays it up ahead to Murphy. The Wolverines with some numbers if they want it. Murphy cuts to his left foot. Fouled a bit, gets a lefty shot off, and it is well wide toward the right side.
Great footwork there to get himself free just enough to rip a shot with the left foot just inside the 18, but just wide for Murphy. But Michigan just keeps applying pressure.
Yeah, Murphy had to sidestep a few defending Mountaineers there. Did a good job of getting the space for the shot, but Francio Henry did a good job also forcing him to his weak foot, where getting a good shot on net would have been difficult. Mountaineers throwing it in on the far side right now. It'll be the right back, Lewis Thomas, tossing it up the field. It's handled by Driscoll, it appears. Plays it back to midfield. Now moving in is Ryan Kane. Kane runs into some Wolverines. They take the ball from him. It'll be Billy Stevens now with it for the Wolverines, playing it up the right wing to Ottawa Henny, the goal scorer for the Wolverines. Ottawa Henny up the right side with speed. Makes a fake move, cuts back, almost loses his footing, and plays it back to Stevens. They're across midfield on the right side. Stevens, a soft grounder down the right side, fielded by Murphy into the corner now. Plays it back to Stevens. Stevens has a man on. Plays it back now to Brett Nason. Nason fakes upfield. Now drops it back for his center back, Morris, at about midfield. Morris plays it up the left side to Woods. Woods back to Morris behind midfield. The Wolverines opting for a possession game right here. Now a long, searching, lofted through ball headed off to the right side by McAtee, where it'll be handled by the left back for the Mountaineers, Zach Leadham.
Michigan really just attacking the right side of this West Virginia defense.
And now a header up the field by Stevens is handled by McAtee between about midfield and the 18-yard box. They'll pass it back around. Nason has it now. Over to Anderson now along the right side for Billy Stevens. Stevens back to Anderson. Back to Morris at about midfield inside the center circle. They'll play it down the left side to Woods. Woods trying for a bit of a 1-2 game. It's handled now by Marcelo Borges. Borges a lofted through ball into the box. Looking for Ottawa Henny. He holds off a man. Has the ball now on the right side. Looking to get across in maybe. He'll play it back to Stevens. Stevens with a long, slow looping cross that will spin and curve along the sideline, and it will be handled there by Diaz, who did not want to let that one go out for a throw. And Diaz dribbles back inside that 18-yard box, where he will take his time and perhaps look to send this one up the field. Diaz with a long ball well past midfield. Headed back forward by Morris for the Wolverines. The Mountaineers win it back, though. Heading down the right side with some speed is number 15, Joey Piatzik, but he is met there by the left back Woods. The ball cleared out of bounds.
West Virginia substitutions. Entering the game, number 10, Jad Arslan.
Couple of substitutions for the West Virginia Mountaineers.
Ryan Kane.
Jad Arsian
Driscoll.
and Tucker Stevenson coming in. Fresh legs off the bench for the West Virginia Mountaineers. As they're inside the attacking third, you got to think they're trying to even this one up.
Looks like Ryan Kane and Jack Driscoll have taken a seat for the West Virginia Mountaineers. We're looking to get a little, fresh legs on the attack. They send a cross into the box. It's cleared back out of bounds beyond the goal line for a corner kick. That was Nason tracking back on defense there. Looks like it's going to be Joey Piatzik taking the corner kick for the Mountaineers. Piatzik takes a few steps back. The Wolverines with Borges and Atuaheni all the way up near midfield. The rest back trying to defend against this corner kick. It's a high cross over the head of everyone. That one looks like it might make its way all the way out of bounds to the sideline, and it does. Jack Elliott tried to chase that one down for the Mountaineers, couldn't catch up, and now the throw-in is up toward Atuaheni. Kicks it behind his head up the field, just trying to give his defense some room to recuperate. Francio Henry sends a long searching ball up the left side. It is met in the air by Eckenrode, who kicks it out of bounds. The throw-in on the near side will be taken by the West Virginia left back, Zach Leadham. He's been almost exclusively the only one who has taken throw-ins on this left side today.
That could be a product, too, of Michigan just always attacking the left side for West Virginia, right for Michigan, and the ball just happening to go out.
Leadham's throw-in headed out of the box by Eckenrode, handled by Borges, who boots it back to Woods. Woods, a long clearance up the field, where the West Virginia right back, Lewis Thomas, will head it back out of bounds. The Wolverines with possession. It'll be Woods taking the throw-in along the left side, right in front of the Ultras. Throws it in up the right side. Looks like Borges using his body to hold off a defender. Sorry, that was Murphy winning possession. Now the Wolverines have to play it back to their goalkeeper, Laurel, as the Mountaineers applying some pressure. Laurel at the top of the box, fakes toward the left side, now clears it up the right side, looking for Atuaheni. Couldn't find him. Mountaineers take over. Some quick passing movements up the left side now. Leadham, long right-footed pass, finds the sub, Jad Arslan, who lost the ball out of bounds as Eckenrode was there applying pressure. West Virginia with the throw.
Stevenson getting some early work with the throw in here.
A long throw in toward the box. On the other end of it, almost, is Jad Arslan, the sub. Took a deflection, and the Wolverines played it out. Now Arslan with a risky challenge from behind, caught the back foot of Marcelo Borges, who was tracking back on defense. A foul was called, and the Wolverines have a free kick inside, well inside their defensive zone.
Michigan still doing a great job with that back four, keeping any real pressure off of Laurel.
Looks like it will be Laurel taking the free kick. The other 10 players all massed around midfield for the Wolverines. Laurel, a long boot well over the head of McAtee, was waiting up front, headed up in the air. Handled there at midfield by Anderson, who heads it back toward it. Daniel Diaz.
Anderson getting up slow on the play. It's an injury that you really want to keep an eye on.
Yeah, he got undercut there by West Virginia Mountaineers. It's been a very physical game so far with the headers. Oh, and now kicked in the face is Lars Eckenrode. Ball was headed forward by the sub, Stevenson, and looked like Joey Piatzik fighting for that one. Kicked Lars Eckenrode in the face. Eckenrode's fine, though. He's an athlete. He's tough enough to keep playing through a concussion or a bloody nose or something.
I would have to agree.
Eckenrode will take the free kick himself. He earned it. He might as well take it. Just has midfield on the right side. It's a long ball into the box. A lot of contact between McAtee and Francio Henry. Henry eventually wins it to his teammate, who clears it all the way down the field. Eckenrode takes his time along the right side and passes it back to his goalkeeper, Laurel. A long ball up the right side looking for Anderson. Anderson keeps it from going out of bounds. Sorry, that was Woods. Woods plays it back to Morris. Morris all the way upfield. A lot of contact, and finally a foul called there on Zach Leadham, who had his hands all over Francis Atua.
He wants to keep everything clean and doesn't want this one to get out of hand.
Only one yellow card has been issued today. That to, I believe, Mike Desiderio of the Mountaineers. The Wolverines look like they started play prior to the ref's whistle, so it will be reset. Taking the free kick will be Anderson, sending it back to Lars Eckenrode along the right side. Eckenrode, a slow cross-field pass over to Morris. Morris up the left side, gives it up to Woods. Woods met there by a couple Mountaineers, sends a long ball up the left side, finds the foot of McAtee. McAtee takes his time, waiting for the rest of his team to get up the field, leaves it back for Nason. Nason over to Anderson along the right side. Anderson, a through ball along the right side. That would be Stevens, cuts back toward the middle. Slow ball in, and a body and a free kick in a dangerous position now for the Wolverines. Francio Henry coming through the back of Marcelo Borges. Borges not too pleased that he got brought down in that position, but it will be a golden scoring opportunity here for the Wolverines.
Yeah, really careless play by Henry there to get that physical when you're only 3 yards outside of the 18. Opportunity to either score off the free kick or get an accurate cross into the box.
Yeah, there's all kinds of options for set pieces here for the Wolverines. They're about 5 yards outside
looks like
of that
Woods.
18-yard box.
Woods will be taking this free kick, it looks like.
Yep, Riley Woods with that left foot looking to either curl it into the back of the net or curl it into a waiting head in the box. The wall lined up in front of him. Diaz on the left, or on our left side, his right side of the goal. Woods the kick. Looks like a shot. It's blocked right back down by a man waiting in front of the net. Looked like that was number 12, Jamie Merriam for the Mountaineers. The ball is won now by Anderson, taking his time getting it back in. Finds Nason near midfield. Nason sends a long cross. Atuahene heads it back toward the middle, and it'll be handled there by the keeper, Daniel Diaz.
Michigan really just exploiting this matchup with Atuahene taking all advantage of Leadham on that right side.
Now a diving header by Nason is intercepted and won back by the Mountaineers. They have it on the right side. Sends it back toward the top of the box to Piatek. Piatek crosses it back into the box to number 10, Arslan. Arslan leaves it back to his right back, Thomas. West Virginia had a chance to push the pace, but now they're just opting for possession. A long, hopeful cross. I'd say an overly ambitious cross will be cleared out of bounds by number 4 for the Wolverines, Stevens. Billy Stevens there tracking Stevenson of West Virginia into the box.
Stevens has been everywhere today for the Michigan Wolverines. Great game thus far for the defender.
Throwing for the Mountaineers is taken by Leadham, and now fighting for the ball back in the defensive area is James Murphy. He wins it off of Leadham out of bounds, and the Wolverines will have possession. 15:50 to go here in the first half. The Wolverines leading the Mountaineers 1-0 on the Francis Atuahene long run and finish into the bottom right corner. It looks like that'll be Marcelo Borges checking out of the game. Subbing in will be William Mellers-Blair. Borges caused a lot of distress Mountaineers up that left side of the field. Mellers, but looking to do more of the same. Now the Wolverines win the ball, and it's a long through ball up the field toward Mellers-Blair. Henry using his body, trying to force a corner kick, and Mellers-Blair able to get the ball out of bounds off of Francio Henry, who was a bit lackadaisical tracking back. The Wolverines now have a corner kick.
And great job by Mellers-Blair to come right off the bench, get physical, show his fresh legs off, and earn the Wolverines a scoring opportunity here with 14:55 to go in the first half.
Yeah, that was really an individual effort by William Mellers-Blair, tracking down the right side of that 18-yard box and forcing Henry to knock that ball out of bounds to prevent a goal. Looks like the corner kick taking a low cross into the box, headed away by the Mountaineers and headed all the way back out toward in midfield where it'll be handled by Billy Stevens. Stevens into Atuahene. Tried to make a move, sandwiched between two Mountaineers, no call. The ball bounces around. The Wolverines maintain possession. It'll be Mason on the left side, playing it up ahead. James Murphy. Murphy up the left side to Mellon Blair, the sub. He'll send a long cross in. Atuahene gets a head on it, gets into the back of the net. Francis Atuahene, his second goal of the game. There was no offsides on that one. He got vertical.
Wow, Atuahene. Leadham was in perfect position to just head that one harmlessly out of bounds to the near side here, but Atuahene played it perfect, showed off his physical prowess by jumping up there and sending a laser of a header to the backside corner, beating Diaz to give Michigan and himself the second goal of the day.
So the quick substitution of William Mellors-Blair pays off for the Wolverines as he gets the assist on that one. Daniel Diaz, the keeper, absolutely helpless on that one. His momentum tracking toward his left side because that's where the cross was going. And Atuahene just sent it into the top left corner to Diaz's right. Michigan leads this one 2-0.
And it's clear to see that the scouting report for the West Virginia Mountaineers from U of M is attack the right side. Leadham has just been beat by the freshman out of Ghana all day today.
And now a throw in. Atuahene tried to kick it with his back foot. Looked like he might have caught Jamie Merriam. He's appealing to the ref, but he will not win that appeal. The Wolverines will have a throw in their defensive area along the right side. It will be taken by Billy Stevens. Stevens plays it back to Eckenrode. A high touch, but he manages to settle it and clear it all the way back downfield where it will be handled by Hayden Bennett. Bennett's header bounces around. Atuahene now touches it down. Little cross toward his back foot, and Murphy had the ball. He was attacked from behind. He and Jack Elliott sharing some words.
That's just a good physical soccer play there. No call needed.
Looks like Murphy limping a little after that altercation with Jack Elliott, who came in from behind, and we will see a substitute.
It looks like Atuahene's day is done as number 14, Robbie Mertz, comes into the game.
Looks like McAtee will also come off for number 20, Yaman Salul. Yaman Salul. Yaman Salul and Robbie Mertz coming on for Atuahene, and Colin McAtee giving the Wolverines some fresh legs in the attack.
Not Atuahene. He's done his job today. Well-earned break.
You know, I'm not sure exactly how the substitutions work in college. It could be possible that, we will see these guys come back in the second half, but it seems awfully early to sub them out. Then again, Michigan is playing with a 2-0 lead right now.
We will get our I-team on that right now.
Stevens with the throw, and he gets the ball back, plays it back toward his own end where it'll be handled by Andre Morris. Morris plays it toward the left side to Woods. Woods, a low through ball on the ground, cleared out of bounds by the right back, Lewis Thomas for the Mountaineers. The Wolverines with the throw, and it will be taken by Riley Woods on the left side, about 15 yards from the goal line. Tosses it into Mellors-Blair, leaves it back to Woods. Woods, low cross, deflected out of bounds behind the net for a corner kick for the Wolverines. The Mountaineers appealing for offside on that 1-2 between Mellors-Blair and Riley Woods, but to no avail. I thought it was a well-timed run.
We have a rule update on the substitutions. A coach has unlimited substitutions, but the player that was subbed out cannot return back into the same half.
Okay, that makes sense.
So Atuahene presumably will be back for the second half of this game, along with McAtee.
That's probably a healthy rule, a good way to, make sure the players don't go too hard.
Allows the coach for a little bit of flexibility and to really get the best out of his players when he needs them the most.
It'll be Anderson taking the corner kick for the Wolverines. Low cross in, headed out of the box by Hayden Bennett. The Wolverines win it back. It's a long cross toward the other side of the box. Mertz deflected out of bounds by Leadham, and it'll be another Wolverines. Mertz played that one right out of the air. Looked like he could have gotten that one maybe on the foot of a waiting Wolverine in the middle of the box, but Leadham doing his job, cutting off that passing lane and knocking it out of bounds.
Great play by Woods and Mertz there to give the Wolverines an opportunity to get a low cross in the box, and results in a corner kick in which Woods will be taking.
Looks like Woods with that left foot will try to curl it in from the left side. Does just that. It's a low one, settled down by the Wolverines. Number 20, they're fighting into the box. A rip by Mellors Blair, and the ball deflected back up, hits him in the face.
The Wolverines wanted a handball in the box. That's just a tough call, though, when you get that many people.
And Diaz trying to throw it up the right side and hit Thomas in stride. And he ended up just throwing it out of bounds at the halfway line. Grossly overestimated Thomas's speed up the wing, and Thomas gesturing back at his goalkeeper like, what are you doing? I was wide open, and you overthrew me by about 20 yards. Shades of Jake Rudock yesterday. Was that a little too soon?
A little too soon. But the Michigan Ultras are really letting Diaz hear about his missed throw there.
Definitely one of the more wild and dedicated student sections here at the university. It looks like it'll be Evo Serta subbing on for James Murphy. Thrown by the Wolverines, cleared back upfield, headed back forward by Stevens. Ball bouncing around near midfield, being headed up in the air by both sides. And, well, that's still continuing. And now Nason heads it back down to the foot of Mellors Blair. He loses it. They're fighting for it. And West Virginia will come out of there with possession. Up the right side, cutting back is the Mountaineers. They'll play a slow ball up the field. It's cleared back out by Andre Morse up the left side and out of bounds. And really, West Virginia has not been able to get the ball into their attacking third over the final part of this entire first half. The Wolverines just stoic at the back, not letting any of these long searching through balls of the Mountaineers get through, but at the same time, the front seven for this team also doing a good job of tracking back, getting in passing lanes, and preventing any significant buildup from happening.
And another sub for the Mountaineers, Joey Piazza coming out with Rashawn Larman replacing him. About 8 minutes to go here in the first half. And some fresh legs for the Mountaineers. Hopefully gives them a jolt of energy.
Woods is throwing lost back to the Mountaineers, and they'll play it back and forth with each other, the two teams. The Mountaineers coming out with it. They'll play it back to Lewis Thomas, the right back. Takes a touch, takes another touch, now plays it up the right side. His pass intercepted by Woods, able to keep it in bounds and get it up the field to number 20, Yaman Salul, but I think he was ruled offside as he tracked back to play that ball. The Mountaineers will have possession just past midfield on the right side. Looks like it will be Thomas taking the free kick.
Some mind games played by Mellors Blair there, with West Virginia setting the ball down, and Blair's kicking it back to where he thought it should be set for the free kick.
If nothing else, it's time-wasting tactic, and the Wolverines have time on their side in this one. Hayden Bennett plays a long ball up the right side, finds the foot of Thomas. Thomas cannot settle it, though, and it is cleared up into the air by Morris. Contested header in the midfield area, cleared out of bounds. The Mountaineers with a throw-in. They will throw it in. Number 14, Desiderio up the right side. When he loses possession out of bounds, the Wolverines will take over. And it's not only that West Virginia hasn't gotten shots on, they've barely even gotten crosses into the box. It's been a defensive masterpiece for the Wolverines so far.
Yeah, they've really limited just the opportunities for the Mountaineers.
And now just outside of midfield, Anderson bodies off Jamie Merriam of the Mountaineers, draws a foul. Merriam getting a little too aggressive. And now Eckenrode with a long cross up the right side, about 10 feet over the head of the waiting Robbie Mertzen out of bounds. Bit of an ambitious pass, a long pass, and one that probably should not have been made. Now the throw-in for the Mountaineers headed back by the Wolverines. Nason plays upfield, a really aggressive slide tackle, one that should not have been made. That's definitely going to earn a card.
He got no contact with the ball.
Number 6, Jack Elliott with a dangerous challenge. Red Nason on the ground right now had his legs taken out from under him, and that was totally a cynical challenge. I think everybody here knew that Nason had gotten rid of the ball at that point.
It was just way too hard of a challenge. Really shouldn't be made. It's a real safety concern out there when people are out there just sliding around carelessly. Could be a frustration. card out of the Mountaineers, but Michigan earns a free kick.
Yeah, really, the Mountaineers have been the more aggressive of the two sides, the more reckless, I should say. Long ball up the right side toward Mertz is intercepted by Leadham. One backward, and Mountaineers get a throw in as the ball deflects out of bounds off of Mertz. Number 10, Arslan, winning that one, and now the long throw and headed back down into the Wolverines attacking third. Handling that one is Evo Serta, plays it back, and now across field it goes to Riley Woods on the left side. Woods taking his time, heading down toward the box, a long lefty cross, trying to find number 14 for the Wolverines, Robbie Mertz. And I think offside was called on the other Wolverines attacker, Yaman Salul, but it looked to me as though Mertz was wrestled down in the box by a Mountaineer.
That may have been on Mertz, though, because while he was knocked to the ground, it looked like Mertz was on the back side of Leadham there, and that may have been what earned them the offsides call.
Very well could have been. It's hard to tell exactly what happened. And now Salul plays a softball up the field. Looks like the Wolverines have a couple runners, and Mellors-Blair tried to kick it behind him, back in front of him through the air, and got a little too much on it. It trickled right into the waiting hands of Daniel Diaz. A wasted opportunity there for the Wolverines to go up 3.
Tried a little chip shot over the goalie, but Diaz was too crafty to high.
Now West Virginia going up the right side, a dangerous cross headed away by Billy Stevens in the right place at the right time. Still fighting for it, and now the ball is won by Evo Serta. Plays it back to Woods, who clears it right toward the Ultras. I'd say he's giving him a souvenir, but that ball is going to be brought right back into play. Lewis Thomas, West Virginia's right back, will take the throw-in just past midfield in their attacking half. Thomas's ball is intercepted, cleared back up toward midfield. Won by Mertz towards Serta. Serta plays it back to Nason. Looking healthy as ever after enduring a hard tackle, and now at the other end, Eckenrode challenged hard from behind, loses the ball out of bounds. West Virginia takes over. It'll be Leadham throwing it in. Leadham throws it in. The ball is headed backward, and Eckenrode with a nice header back to his keeper, Evan Loro. That one in a dangerous position. It was Rashawn Larmond giving chase to that one. Had a chance to get in on goal if Eckenrode did not make the smart play and give it back to his keeper.
Yeah, and that's a very smart play by Eckenrode to head the ball back. That's not headed back. Loro can't play that with his hand, so it would have been a tougher play.
Now at the other end, by Salul is knocked out of bounds by the Mountaineers. The Wolverines with a throw in their attacking third. Here on the near side of the field, it will be Billy Stevens taking the throw in for Michigan. Stevens, a bouncer on the right side, handled by Mertz, using his body to shield off the defenders. Back to Stevens. 3 Mountaineers in the area. That ball won forward, but it looks like a foul will be called on the Wolverines. Evo Serta had the ball near the box with the potential to initiate something, but the whistle was blown on the Wolverines, who perhaps got a little too physical along that right side.
Diaz coming all the way out to the sideline to take this free kick. Interesting decision.
Pretty much everybody on the soccer field congregated on this left side as Diaz's kick, a long one headed back forward onto the foot of Rashawn Larmond, but he cannot control it, and it is cleared out of bounds by Andre Morris.
And that's the Michigan defense, really just any type of opportunity that the West Virginia Mountaineers could get, with Morris just safely clearing it out on the sideline, not even allowing a corner.
Well, you know, when in doubt, just get it out, and that's what the Wolverines have done today. Zach Leadham, a long throw into the box, looking for a head. It's headed forward and out of bounds for a goal kick. Looked like Jamie Merriam on the receiving end of that long throw by Leadham, but he could not direct it anywhere near the goal, and Laura will take the goal kick.
1 minute and change remaining in the first half, 124 to be exact. Michigan leads the shots chart 8-1, and that's really just been the tone of the game too.
Michigan also 6 corner kicks to West Virginia's 1. Really seems like a game Michigan will be happy about heading into that locker room at halftime. The goal kick is headed forward toward Diaz, who comes out of his box and kicks the ball out of bounds along the right side. Could have been something developing there for the Wolverines if Diaz wasn't quick to react.
Good aggressive play. Keeps the Wolverines at bay there.
It'll be Woods taking the throw, and 45 seconds to go here in the first half. Woods' throw down the right side, handled there by Salul. Salul tries to cut inside, met there by Thomas, who clears it back up the field. And the ball is headed out of bounds near midfield by Brett Nason, the Mountaineers with a throw. 30 seconds to go in the half. A soft throw onto the foot of Larman. Larman plays it back, the ball bouncing around in the Wolverines area. In midfield with a lot of space is Serta with the ball. He plays it up the right side to Robbie Mertz. Mertz in some space. Good close down there by number 10 Arslan for the Mountaineers. Mertz plays it back. They get it back to Mertz, counting down the clock. There's 5 seconds to go here in the half. Mertz, a low cross into the box, deflected, just wide. And that is going to do it here for the first half in this soccer game. The Wolverines will head into the halftime break, leading this one 2-0 and dominating in pretty much every facet of the game. Dalton, any thoughts going into halftime?
If the Michigan Wolverines can just keep this suffocating defense up, like we mentioned earlier, only one shot on goal and only one corner kick. If they can keep that up in the second half, then Anu Henny's 2 goals should be enough to seal the deal to get Coach Shaka Daly his first win of the season.
Francis Atuaheni already a brace in this game. We'll see in the second half if he can get that hat trick. We'll be back with you after halftime is over. That'll be in about 15 minutes. Until then, we will go silent. We'll see you for the second half. Hello and welcome back to WCBN FM Ann Arbor's broadcast of Michigan soccer. We're back here for the second half of Michigan versus West Virginia. After the first half, the Michigan Wolverines lead the Mountaineers 2-0. We've got about a minute to go until we kick off to start the second half. Michigan leading on the strength of two Francis Atuels. Won a long run that ended in about a 20-yard cracker from outside the box into the bottom right-hand corner. A header off of William Mellors Blair, I should say, that found the top left corner. Atuahene having a heck of a game, getting on the score sheet. We're about ready to get away for the second half. What do you see in that first half, Dalton?
In the first half, a stifling Michigan defense kept the Mountaineers really from any good scoring chances and opportunities. And it looks like the Michigan Wolverines are going with the same lineup they ended the first half in. That would be No Atuahene. That would be Zach Mertz. And then Shalua replacing McAtee.
Yeah, it looks like Marcelo Borges, however, is back in the game on the left wing.
From Mellors Blair.
It does look like McAtee and Murphy are back out there at midfield. In fact, it's just that William Mellors Blair has replaced Atuahene, and Atuahene has not returned. Other than that, it looks like the same as the starting lineup. Close enough. We are back underway. The ball cleared up the right side toward Mellors Blair by Anderson and headed out of bounds by the Mountaineers left back. Looks to be a substitute. Can't see his number from here, though. We'll get that for you very shortly. Throw and headed back toward Michigan's end. Handled there by Andre Morris. Played back to Evan Laurel. Laurel, a low pass up the right side of the field. Kicked upfield by Henry. Murphy handles it. He's dragged down from behind by, looks like, Merriam. No, that was Joey Piatzik back on the field for the Mountaineers, who dragged down Murphy from behind. A free kick for the Wolverines. They send it back to Andre Morris to the left side to Woods, Riley Woods. Long through ball up the field, finds the foot of Borges. Borges in the box on the left side. Left-footed pass is deflected back toward the waiting goalie. It looks like a new goalie here in the second half for the West Virginia Mountaineers. Alec Borner in goal for the Mountaineers, replacing Daniel Diaz, who didn't have his best first half, but to be fair, there wasn't much he could have done in any of the instances where he surrendered a goal. Ball bounces around. It's cleared back up the field, and I think there was offside called on Colin McAtee on a long through ball that, in the end, his presence forced the Mountaineers to clear the ball out of bounds, and as such, the Mountaineers are going to get a free kick out of it. It will be Alec Borner booting it up the field for the Mountaineers. A lot of backspin on the ball. Coming up to head it away is number 8 for the Mountaineers, Felix Angerer. He got subbed down at halftime. The ball handled now by McAtee over to Anderson. Toward the left side to Borges. Borges in a sea of 3 Mountaineers, trying to get by all of them. Tries to weave around them. Little controversy down the sideline. The ref finally rules that Michigan ball. Woods sends it up to Borges. Borges with a heavy touch. The ball bounces up in the air. It's headed out of bounds by number 17, Tucker Stevenson for the Mountaineers. The Wolverines with another throw. It'll be Anderson. Quick pass to Murphy. Fakes the pass. Sends it up the left side to Woods. Woods chasing it down a low lefty cross into the box. Almost a header by McAtee. Looked like he almost dummied that. Let it go by. Now Anderson with a low soft shot. It's stopped, blocked by Francio Henry, and cleared up the field.
Yeah, that looked like a dummy header by McAtee there, because as soon as he turned around, he looked over to his partner up top there, and I
think it was Murphy,
and gave him a little, what's going on?
Yeah, what gives? Because it looked like if he wanted to, McAtee could have tried an odd angle header there.
Yeah.
Anderson now into the box. Lefty pass. Deflection off the foot of McAtee, just wide on the right side. That was a nice find there by Anderson, sending in a low bouncing cross to McAtee, who just had to deflect that one the right way and cut it a little too sharply. Almost a third goal for the Wolverines.
McAtee doing his best Johan Franzen impersonation just by setting up in front of that net and redirecting it.
Now a long ball up the right side. Some trouble now for the Wolverines as Angerer has it for the Mountaineers. Cuts down low. His cross into the box deflected. Now a ready shot by the Mountaineers. Number 17, Stevenson, is deflected out of bounds by Brett Nason, doing a great job tracking all the way back down the field and getting in the path of that shot.
And once again, no real threat by the Mountaineers. In the first half, the Mountaineers had one shot, but none on goal. And after a career day for Lauro, he had no saves in the first half.
The corner kick now punched out of the box by Lauro. Headed back toward the box, handled by Murphy. Murphy kicks it over his head. Bit of bicycle action there. The ball headed back around, and Murphy finally gets it up across midfield where it's handled by Henry. Henry loses it. Borges now going the other way with a couple numbers.
McAtee streaking down the center backside.
Borges plays it toward the right side. A little too much curve on it, though, as it bounces into the hands of the waiting keeper, Borner. And Borges not too pleased with himself. Borner's kick, however, handled by the Wolverines. A lot of contact there at midfield. Looked like Murphy tripped over the ball while still bouncing around in a header at midfield by, I believe, Nason. He was met in midair. Nason has certainly spent his fair share of time on his back today as he has been knocked all about the pitch by the Mountaineers.
Yeah, well, Nason, he's not afraid to get in there and get physical, which that's the kind of guy you need on every team in any sport, really.
Yeah, especially a midfielder. You want him to get in there, mix things up, make things happen. And so far, he's definitely prevented things from happening for the Mountaineers, always winning possession back for the Wolverines.
Slight wind now blowing from far side to near side. That would be from north to south.
Long low cross in the box, handled by McAtee, and he skies the shot just over the net. Looked like McAtee was posting up on his man, Francio Henry. The long cross from near midfield skied over Henry's head, bounced right down on McAtee's foot. It was a tough shot on a short bounce, but McAtee still got to finish that one.
McAtee did a good job settling the ball down, chance at scoring, and it looked like Henry was a little preoccupied with trying to get an offsides call from the ref.
And now Murphy's touch goes out of bounds for the Mountaineers. A little dummy for the Mountaineers going the other way, trying to find Anger heading upfield. It's cleared all the way back down into the stands by Lars Eckenrode, and that one bouncing into the waiting hands of a young fan near the top left side of the bleachers. West Virginia with the throw, and now Marcelo Borges makes the right back Lewis Thomas look foolish, flicking it backward over his head and over the head of Lewis Thomas, and Thomas had to drag him down to prevent him from totally embarrassing him and getting by him up the left side.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, Morris.
That was a nifty little move there by Borges. Now a long ball toward the runner. It's Anderson. Anderson flicks it onto himself up the right side, using his body to shield the ball. Stops near the goal line, gets it back to Mellers-Blair. Mellers-Blair running back toward a man on the right side. It's Steven. Steven plays it over to Nason. Nason, the lofted ball. Mellers-Blair wins it down the right side, moving in on goal, and he lost the handle, and it trickles right into the waiting hands of Borner, the keeper.
And despite Michigan's 2-goal lead, they are not taking their foot off the gas.
Yeah, that was an intriguing bit of work. Good passes there on that side. And West Virginia loses the ball out of bounds, throws it in. Michigan loses it at midfield, however. It's picked up by Angerer of the Mountaineers. He's pressured from behind, loses it. Mellers-Blair comes up with it, plays it back to Murphy. Murphy back into his own zone to Eckenrode. Eckenrode plays it up to Nason. Nason back to Morris. Morris over to Eckenrode. Back to Morris. The Wolverines taking their time passing it around the back. They give it back to Riley Woods, who's pressured by Mountaineer, makes a move, cuts inside of him into some space. Now a long ball up the right side, and the linesman holds up his flag. Mellers-Blair was well offside there. Forced offside by the defensive work of, I believe, number 31, Zion Gray of the Mountaineers. The offside trap in full effect right there, as both Mellers-Blair and I think McAtee were well beyond the last man.
Well beyond.
Borner, the keeper, will kick this one far upfield. An Angerer of the Mountaineers, a halftime sub. He's got to be about 6'6". He's a very big target man. Now a long ball upfield handled by Francio Henry. Over to Lewis Thomas. Thomas met by Borges and a few Wolverines. Gets the pass off to Merriam. Merriam up the field. Almost gets that one taken away from Ryan Kane. Kane maintains possession at midfield. Inside the center circle, over to Leadham. Zach Leadham playing a little bit farther up the pitch than he was in the first half. A little 1-2 down the right side now. Heading down there is Tucker Stevenson. Ball is knocked out of bounds. Stevenson with a quick throw over to Anger. Anger, the lefty curling cross toward the box. Absolutely no one there on the receiving end for the Mountaineers. That one goes across the goal line and out of bounds for a goal kick.
An ambitious play to send a cross in, but just didn't have much touch on it and skied it to the other side of the box.
Yeah, Felix Angerer, physically imposing man. He's already had some scrums at midfield with the likes of Nason and Anderson, but obviously doesn't have the kind of touch that would land him a starting spot on this West Virginia squad. Laura with a long ball upfield. It's met and sent back into Michigan territory and out of bounds by what appears to be the left back, Zion Gray. The throw will be handled by Stevens at the far side. Stevens plays it back to Lars Eckenrode. Eckenrode, a ball roll, sends it back to Laurel. Laurel, the long ball up past midfield, over the head of the West Virginia center back and all the way into waiting hands of the keeper, Borner. Borner telling his players to get upfield, wait for this long ball. He'll send it back down. A little more touch than Lauro's, but it'll land on the waiting head of Lars Eckenrode. Eckenrode plays it up the field. West Virginia heads it back. Michigan heading it back up in the air. It's booted back toward Michigan zone. It's just header after air ball. Finally settles on the foot of Ryan Kane, running up the left side, working there on Stevens. Stevens wins the ball up to Murphy. Murphy looking across the field. Finds a man at midfield. It is Anderson. Anderson plays it out to the left side to Woods. Woods, a heavy touch across midfield, plays to Borges. Soft touch, flicks it up ahead to Woods. Now he's got a lot of open space up the left side. Woods, the lefty, cross. Looks like a shot, actually. He's shrugging his shoulders and smiling.
I think it was a shot, Morris. I think he's trying to go top left corner.
That would have been a really cheeky goal right there.
Testing Borner early.
I think everybody in this stadium was expecting a cross. That's what he's done all game. Went for the top left corner, and he was pretty close.
He's very good with that left foot of his, and he seems to be the main player for the Michigan Wolverines that's been taking all the crosses today.
Yeah, it looked like Borner may have had that spot covered, but it would have been an interesting effort to say the least. Borner's goal kick sent up the field, headed back by the Wolverines, and Hayden Bennett had some trouble clearing it, just kicked it out of bounds. The Wolverines now with a throw that will be taken by Riley Woods. Woods has Borges sitting right in front of him. Instead, throws it into Mellor's player, chests it down, and Hayden Bennett will clear it back down the field for the Mountaineers. And Eckenrode will head it back to his keeper, Lauro. Lauro with all kinds of space and time. The Wolverines with about 3 players offside right now. So Lauro needs to continue taking his time. Finally pressured into picking the ball up by the striker, Jamie Merriam. Lauro punts it up the right side in the direction of McAtee. It's headed toward out of bounds by Zion Kane. By Ryan Kane. That was Zion Gray. My mistake with the name. Gray fighting for it up the left side. Twists around to Wolverine. Now the ball up to Merriam. Merriam plays the ball up ahead to Anger. Anger is in the box on the left side. It's cleared out behind the net. Good clearance play there by Brett Nason, tracking back. Pretty close to putting that one on his own goal, but Nason had control with his right foot and just sent it out of bounds for a corner kick.
Nason's been everywhere on this field today. He's been making plays on the attacking third, on the defending third, and he's been really vital to this Michigan team, all the while pitching the shutout here with 32 minutes to go in the second half.
Looks like Piatek on the corner kick. He'll send it in. It's headed off toward the near side sideline, found there by Woods, plays it up the field toward Borges. Borges with a quick touch, plays it way ahead of himself, and it's met there by a West Virginia Mountaineer. Now Borges flicks it back on, and it's handled by Francio Henry, sent back up the right side. And that was Ryan Kane booting the ball out of bounds off of the stomach of Riley Woods, and I think Woods got the wind knocked out of him there.
Yeah, that couldn't have felt too good. And the referee coming over, discussing with the sideline judge here, just not quite sure what's going on.
Looks like Ryan Kane kind of shrugging his shoulders at the refs. It's maybe possible they're discussing whether there was malicious intent in that boot up the right side. I don't think so.
I wouldn't agree with that. I think it was just a soccer play.
Woods still doubled over as he's trying to catch his wind. Looks like it will be a West Virginia throw in along the right side. Lewis Thomas, the right back, will take it. He has yet to sub out for the Mountaineers. Thomas, the right back, sends it up the right side to Stevenson. Tucker Stevenson takes his time, plays it back toward his own end. Now a pass in to Leadham. Zach Leadham plays it across the field to a man, number 9, Kane. A lefty boot off the right post, I should say, and out. A rocket from outside the box. West Virginia almost cut this Michigan lead in half.
And Michigan really caught a break there because there was nothing Lauro could do there. It was just an absolute laser from outside the box. And those post balls can go any way.
Yeah, Ryan Kane not able to put that one away. Stevens now right side of softball that's headed back by Zion Gray. And now a foul on the Wolverines. I think that was Anderson in the midfield coming through the back of a Mountaineer.
Tyler Anderson just getting a little too physical.
West Virginia with a free kick at midfield on the left side. They'll send a long, hopeful cross into the box. It's headed away by a Wolverine. Now headed back down. Little back-footed flick by a Mountaineer, and it's cleared out of bounds by Morris, Andre Morris. And I think Lauro a little irritated with him because he was about to come pick that one up and secure possession for the Wolverines. Rare miscommunication. Now a ball into the box. Angerer, a lefty shot saved by Evan Lauro, and that's really the first big-time action he's had today, getting down horizontal to the ground and stopping that one from getting by him.
And Lauro looking solid out there thus far with the 2 shots he's had to make a play on.
Yeah, he hasn't had no action today. He's also punched out a cross or two, and he's been in the right place and at the right time. Michigan messing about with the ball at midfield. West Virginia wins it up to Angerer. They'll play it up to Thomas. Thomas across into Merriam. Merriam on the edge of the box. Makes a move, leaves it off for Kane. Kane cuts to his left, rips a shot, a save again by Lauro. That one right into the waiting hands of Evan Lauro, who's cutting off all the angles. Kane trying to get to that left foot again.
Michigan's really got to try to turn the tide here of momentum because it's been all West Virginia for the past 8 minutes.
Looks like Atuahene is warming up down on that left side. Would not be shocked to see him back into the game after the electrifying impact he had in that first half. Ball bouncing around in Michigan's attacking third. It's cleared back up to Tucker Stevenson. Misplay by the Mountaineers, and then Mellors Blair lets one ricochet off his foot into the possession of the Mountaineers. Ball bouncing up the right side, fielded by Angerer, leaves it back to Lewis Thomas. Thomas, low cross, finds a man in the box, rips a shot off the volley. That was Jamie Merriam with the left-footed shot. Went about 15 feet wide to the right side. An ambitious effort. Would have been a highlight goal, but maybe got to do a little bit better given the space that he had.
Can't fault him, though. Went out there trying to get his team right back into this game and just missed wide.
West Virginia is certainly looking the more aggressive side, and it seems like they've controlled the run of play a lot more in this second half than they did in the first.
Oh, most definitely.
Michigan did start off the second half with some chances, but now West Virginia attacking with renewed intensity. Eckenrode clears one up the left side. Borges almost able to control that one. That would have been a heck of a play, but it bounces out of bounds instead. It's fielded by Thomas with a long throw upfield, headed back up the field by Brett Nason. Good job tracking back. Nason, really a high work rate today. He's been all over the field. Now the Mountaineers with it. Ball up the field. It'll be a handball by, that was Billy Stevens. Looked like it caught him really high on the upper arm.
Just took a bad bounce, and there's nothing you could do about it.
Free kick for the Mountaineers. Looked like a set-piece opportunity, but Andre Morris right in the passing lane wins it for the Wolverines. Now Borges coming up the left side with a bit of room. Slow through ball. Tried to bend it into the path of Mellors Blair. Almost did it, but Borner able to come out of his net and grab that ball before it caused any trouble.
Good job by Hayden Bennett to knock Mellors Blair off his route onto that through ball.
And now a pass back by Anderson. Ricochets off the ref. And some problems here for the Michigan Wolverines, as on the right side, Tucker Stevenson is brought down for a foul. West Virginia with a quick free kick. Stevenson a little in and out move, crosses it high and slowly into the box. It'll fall into the waiting arms of Evan Lauro.
And Lauro, once again, like you said, just looking solid by being where he needs to be when he needs to be there.
Lauro will boot it up the right center side of the field, headed back down by the center back, Francio Henry. Henry plays it over to Leadham. Leadham tries a long ball up the left side. Miscommunication, though. West Virginia had nobody running up that side. The ball is handled by Lauro. Will take his time and pick it up just as Felix Angerer arrives in the vicinity.
Michigan really just trying to take some time off this clock here. And
Lauro, long punt up the right side. Ball bounces down. McAtee fighting for it, and it's out of bounds off of Zion Gray. McAtee able to win the Wolverines' possession just by his presence in the area.
Couple substitutions coming in for the Wolverines on the next substitutable dead ball. It looks like number 20, Yamin Salul, is coming in, and the man of the match thus far, Francis Aduhene.
The throw in by Stevens to the foot of McAtee is kicked out by the Mountaineers. Stevens will throw it in again to Murphy. Murphy, a quick 1-2 with McAtee on the edge of the box. His cross beyond the right hand of the keeper, Warner, but nobody there for the Wolverines. Woods fields it on the far side, or on the near side, I should say. His pass down low to Marcelo Borges is cut off by Lewis Thomas. He'll knock it out of bounds for a Wolverines throw.
And that cross was not more than 3 feet outside of that net.
Yeah, absolutely. If any of the Wolverines were in just a bit more of an optimal place, they could have headed that one into a wide open net. Quick water break and quick substitution for the Wolverines. It looks like McAtee will come off for Salul, and Atuahene, the man with the 2 goals for the Wolverines, will come on for Marcelo Borges.
That will end McAtee and Borges' day. Very respectable days, yes, because of the NCAA rules. It will end their day, but respectable days for both of them as they turned in good performances.
Now on the left side, Murphy trying to weave through a couple Mountaineers. Pass back upfield is knocked forward, headed forward now by Stevens, and headed back away by Leadham. Atuahene, fresh off the bench, trying to cause some havoc in that defensive backfield. A heavy slide by Salul wins the ball away from Lewis Thomas, and he will win a throw down the left sideline. Lewis Thomas has been getting picked on a bit today. He looks angry, and he's having some words with the referee. From a distance, though, you don't want to show too much disrespect for risk of getting carded.
Great play by Salul to come in, instant energy, and win the ball back for the Wolverines down in the attacking third.
Woods dumps it to Murphy. Back to Woods on that left side. Low cross in the box, handled by Borner. Borner with a punt upfield up the right side. Mason waiting for it. He is beaten to it by Merriam, who plays it up ahead to Heath Honnold. Down, ended up using his hand, and the refs caught him in the act. The Wolverines with a free kick in their defensive zone.
And just watching Atuahene run around out here, this guy's just got another gear. When he turns it on, he closes quicker than anyone else on the field.
Lauro, a long boot up the center of the field. Salul waiting on the receiving end, tried to head it in the direction of Atuahene, and ended up heading it out of bounds. Atuahene not able to get there and save it from going out, but it looked like it took a deflection off of the head of the center back for the Mountaineers, Hayden Bennett. The Wolverines will have a throw on the near side, the left side of the field, in their attacking third. Woods tosses it into Murphy. Threw ball over to Atuahene. He tried to nutmeg Lewis Thomas there and get into the box. Thomas up to the task, though. Looked like he could have left that one off to Murphy as well, but tried for an individual effort. Now a long ball up the field by Eckenotis, handled by the keeper, Borner. Borner to Bennett, back to Borner. Clears it up toward midfield. Strong header there by Nason. Over to Bennett. Bennett met by Blair, and Blair looks like he's going to knock that one out of bounds. Now a terrible throw-in, intercepted by looked like Nason. Ball bouncing around up the left side, headed forward by Woods, and the ball knocked out of bounds off of the body of a Mountaineer in Hayden Bennett. The Wolverines with a throw in on the left side in their attacking zone. Not quite in the attacking third, but getting there. Woods goes down the left sideline to Atuahene. Cuts inside. Tries a outside the foot cross into the box, and it goes well beyond the reach of Mellors Blair.
And that's a tough cross because when you're on the left side of the field, striking with the right foot, it has a natural curve to curve out and makes it tough to make a play on it if you're making a run.
Yeah, ball certainly had some interesting spin on it. An ambitious try. Atuahene really has shown the propensity to try for the spectacular today. And, you know, more often than not, he's pulled it off. Now on the left side, Woods plays it back to Nason. Nason into Atuahene up the left side with a ton of space. Cuts inside on Thomas. In toward the box. Passes it off to Salul. His shot blocked out of bounds. And down with an injury. 2 Mountaineers down, face down with injuries. Looks like Francio Henry on one end. No, that's not Francio Henry. Sorry, that looks like number 11. No, that is Francio Henry.
And it looks like
Lewis Thomas and Francio Henry are both down right now. I think Henry might have planted the wrong way.
you hate to see this.
And they're calling out the trainers for Henry. It looks like Thomas is going to get up here, but Henry, I think, is perhaps suffering some sort of cramp. The way his teammates are trying to stretch him out, that's what it looks like.
Hopefully it's nothing serious.
The Wolverines heading to their sideline to get hydrated right now. Probably a wise move.
And Atuahene is just having his way with these West Virginia defenders. I mean, every time he's touched the ball, he's put Michigan in a great opportunity to score.
He's got a knack for finding the open space in the field before it even exists. Like when he got that last ball going up the left side, he had open space in front of him, but the way that Thomas's momentum was carrying him, if he just went straight in the line up the left side, Thomas would have caught him. But he cut to his right so that Thomas's momentum would carry him away
Outside.
from the play. And as such, he was able to set up a good opportunity for Salul, and it almost ended with a goal, and it will end with a Wolverines corner kick once these injuries are taken care of.
And Atuahene, he has a knack, like you said, though, for knowing what way to touch the ball when he receives it. And just that he should be a very exciting player, as he is only a freshman for the Wolverines.
And it looks like perhaps a groin issue for Francio Henry as he walks off the field.
Back in game number 6, Jack Elliott.
Jack Elliott will sub back on for Francio Henry. His day is done. Henry's had a mixed game for the Mountaineers at the back.
Lewis Thomas, who is also down on the field, seems to be up and doing just fine. So,
yeah, say what you want about his temperament throughout the game, but Thomas has been a competitor throughout.
He has. He's played strong. He's not afraid to get physical.
And it looks like from the left side of the field, it will be Tyler Anderson sending it in with his right foot. Send across, a header across the box, headed back up into the air. Looks like the Wolverines fighting for it. Eckenrode plays it back to a man, Murphy. Tried a left-footed shot out of the air, missed the goal by about 5 feet to the left. That one had a chance for the Wolverines.
It did. That ball was just bouncing around, and
West Virginia
Eckenrode found
entering the game number 10.
got it off the
Jack
touch and
Arson. And number 14.
put a good boot on it, but just wide.
Mike.
And it looks like Borner will clear it all the way back up the field for the Mountaineers.
And number 11, Zach Liam.
Looks like Leadham and Stevenson's days are done for the Mountaineers. They're off for substitutes. Zach Arslan down the right side for the Mountaineers. Low cross in the box, handled by Laurel. Could not quite secure it, and Eckenrode with the alert play to clear it out of bounds for a corner kick for the Mountaineers.
20 minutes, 30 seconds remaining here in the game field. Mountaineers left to right.
Still plenty of time left for the Mountaineers to engineer a comeback the way they've been playing here in this second half. Long cross into the box, headed back toward the left edge of the box, and now a hard righty shot It didn't look like Merriam got all of that for the Mountaineers. It skimmed low and wide, and it will be a goal kick for the Wolverines.
If West Virginia wants a legitimate chance at trying to get back into this one, they got to cut the deficit in half by scoring a goal before the 10-minute mark.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with that. So that was Heath Honold, not Merriam, who had the shot. Number 19, not number 12. Now a long boot there by Loro is not handled by Sulul near the sideline. Atuaheni contested Thomas for it, but in the end, just bounced by them and out of bounds. Thomas taking his time finding a teammate on this throw-in. Long throw over the head of Woods, and the ball kicked out of bounds by a Mountaineer. That was Heath Honold, unable to control the ball down the right side. And it looks like coming out of the game will be number 23, Tyler Anderson. And coming into the game for the first, not the first time today, but coming into the game will be Evo Serta for the Wolverines. Throwing up the right side, Lewis Thomas got a fistful of Sulul's jersey, refs allowing the physical play to continue.
That would have been 10 yards in the game last night, Morris.
That was a pretty clear illegal contact, but we'll allow it. Now a long ball up the right side of the field, headed by Zion Gray. The Mountaineers mucking it up a little bit, but nothing doing for the Wolverines. Now Gray plays it up the field, up the left side. Giving chase is number 9, Ryan Kane, but he cannot catch up, and the Wolverines with a throw-in along the far side of the field, their right side. Looks like Eckenrode will be throwing this one in. None of the Wolverines' back four has taken a seat in this game.
As they shouldn't. They've put together a stellar performance thus far, giving up a little bit more pressure here in the second half, but probably told to play pretty conservative, and that'll happen sometimes when you're back on your heels, but the Wolverines' defense playing a great game thus far.
Yeah, Sulul, on the other hand, has been, well, kind of manhandled physically by some of these West Virginia-backed players, but the ref's not giving him the benefit of many calls.
Sulul, though, himself is not a very large person. Comes in at 5'10", 168 pounds.
Ball bouncing around back and forth between the two teams as they're trying to head it down into their own possession. Seen a fair amount of these, kind of volleyball matches. The Mountaineers will head it forward. Honold giving chase, and Eckenrode will boot it high, far, and the refs are ruling that he was out of play when he got the boot on it, so West Virginia will have a throw-in on the far side in their attacking zone. Quick passes now for the Mountaineers. They find a man down the right side. It's Thomas. Thomas defended by Atuaheni. It's through the legs of Atuaheni, but Atuaheni walls him off with his body, wins the ball. And now it's played up the left side to Atuaheni. Stops and tries to restart. Tackled hard there by number 15, Joey Piatzik. No call there by the ref. Atuaheni still lying on the ground down this left sideline. The Wolverines win possession. Looks like Nason at midfield. Plays it up to Murphy. Murphy running toward his right. Plays it back to Stevens. Atuaheni back up on his feet. Over to Murphy. Back to Eckenrode, the right center back for the Wolverines. Toward the left side to Morris. Morris a long through ball up the left side. Got over the head of Thomas. Looking for Atuaheni. Atuaheni heads it forward. Atuaheni in the back. So lefty shot scores off the volley. Spectacular stuff. Borner had no chance. Atuaheni, a salute to the crowd. He's got his hat trick. Where did that come from?
That was stunning because not bad defense played by Lewis Thomas of the Mountaineers, and Atuaheni just showcasing his skills. Last one off the left foot, off the hands of the goalkeeper into the back of the net for the third time today. Have yourself a day, young man.
I am awestruck by that one. It was a long through ball. Atuaheni headed it down to himself, but it didn't look like he had control of the ball. It was on his weak foot to his left, and he just struck that one out of the air. The goalkeeper, Borner, had a shot at it for the Mountaineers. He got his hands on it, but that ball was struck with such power toward the top left corner that all he could do was deflect it into the top net. Francis Atuahene, all three of Michigan's goals, they lead 3-0 now with 16 minutes and 23 seconds to go in the game.
And once again, on that goal, Atuahene showcased everything we've talked about. His speed to get to the ball, his amazing touches, and just how he knows to play other people. And he gets himself his hat trick.
West Virginia kick tries to find a man streaking up the right side. The ball is cleared out of bounds by the Wolverines. Now in the box is Marin. He tries a righty shot. It is blocked out of play along the right side. It was Andre Morris getting in the way of that one.
Griffin Libart checked in for the Mountaineers, and Lewis Thomas's day is done after giving up the third goal to Atuahene.
Yeah, as tough as it is for him, he did get beat on that one. Cutting in for the Mountaineers, number 14, Mike Desiderio tried to get a shot off, and now
Ryan Kane blasted one just to the right of the net. Ryan Kane, he's shown a pretty good boot if he gets it outside the 18. Could be dangerous if he gets a little accuracy on it.
Yeah, hard to imagine him being really dangerous to the Wolverines in this one, given the deficit. But, yeah, down the stretch, it does seem like he's a guy who's going to score some goals for the Mountaineers.
15-20 remaining in this game. Chalk that goal up at the 16-minute mark for Francis.
Francis, that's a name that's going to be more and more familiar to Michigan soccer fans as this season progresses.
Speaking of Michigan soccer fans, still a very good turnout for today's game. Seems as if everyone that was here for the first half still remains.
Yeah, it's a great environment here as West Virginia carrying it in their attacking third. Stopping with it is Driscoll, subbing on for the Mountaineers, leaves it off to the left side to Gray. Gray dumps it down to Arslan. The lefty cross into the box. Laurel waiting and making the catch as Driscoll was running in on the backside. Could have headed that one in if Laurel was not there to make the catch. But, yeah, the turnout has been great, and it's a good environment to bring your kids down, certainly during halftime and even throughout this second half. There's wide open field on either side of us where kids can just mess around, practice their soccer skills with all the other kids in attendance. The ball now in the Wolverines' attacking third. Desiderio trying to work it up the field. The ball cleared out of bounds by the Wolverines' James Murphy, and they will leave it off for Desiderio to throw in. The attendance on our side is mostly parents and children. The Ultras, the student section, not really showing out in full force yet, but that's more because most of the students haven't moved in yet, as West Virginia commits a foul going over the back of that was Yamin Salul at midfield. Taking the free kick will be Nason, dumping it along the left side to Woods. Woods dumps it down to Atuahene. The man with the golden boot today plays it back to Woods and now plays it all the way back to Andre Morris, who sends it up the field. It's handled by Haywood Bennett of the Mountaineers. That one kicked off the face of Atuahene and out of bounds by the new right back for West Virginia, Griffin Libhart. Libhart taking his space up the right side, a long ball toward Driscoll. Driscoll plays it off his chest and right out of bounds. The Wolverines take possession there.
Mass substitutions right now for the Wolverines. We will keep you updated as they happen. It looks like number 11, Mellors Blair is finished, and Zach Mertz checks back into the game.
That's Robbie Mertz.
Robbie Mertz, excuse me.
Robbie Mertz onto the field along with Tristan Jacob. Number 23, Tyler Anderson, back on the field after coming out at halftime. And it looks like Marcelo Borges is back on the field, which kind of goes against the rules that we looked up. I mean, that our I-team looked up during that first half. But, I mean, what can we do other than report it as it is?
We're going to have to get on them, see if they can't get a little more clarification.
I'm sure as we continue to broadcast this team throughout the season, we'll be a more informed bunch. And if you have any issues or any information for us, remember you can always interact with us on Twitter at WCBN Sports. We're always got that feed open during games and always eager to interact with fans. West Virginia with a run now up the right side. Jamie Merriam with a low cross into the box. It is kicked high and out of play. That was tracking back.
Looked like Evo Serta.
Evo Serta, yes, it was.
And once again, this Michigan defense, not so much the defenders, but even the midfielders have been really just hustling to get back in the box and deflect any opportunity for the Mountaineers.
Corner kick now for West Virginia will be taken by Joey Piatek. Right footer. Try to curl this one away from the goal into the box. West Virginia getting lined up. Everybody up except for the two defenders who are marking number 20 Salul and number 14 Mertz.
Yellow card issued to Michigan, number 3, Andre Morris.
And apparently a yellow card has been issued to number 3, Andre Morris, perhaps getting a little too physical prior to the corner kick, though for the life of me, I can't tell what it's for. All sent in the box, a low bouncer by Piatek, cleared away by the Wolverines. Desiderio fights for it for the Mountaineers, plays it with his head down to his right foot, tries to get the ball around Borges, could not do so. The ball played up toward Mertz. Mertz plays it back to Jacob. Jacob can't handle it. The Mountaineers take over at about midfield. They play a long cross up the right side, and it's far, far too long for the right midfielder, Joey Piatek. Can't chase it down. It goes out of bounds for a goal kick.
It looks like some more substitutions for the Wolverines. Atua Hene's day is done and getting a standing ovation from the Michigan faithful. It's like McAtee's checking back in for him, and he deserves the rest after the performance he put out there today.
Yeah, I kind of thought about giving him a standing ovation myself. We're supposed to be impartial up here in the box, but he's just been in a class of his own today. McAtee playing it down toward the left side, tried to scoop it around. Zion Gray couldn't do so. West Virginia now going the other way. Zach Arslan nutmegs through the legs of number 6, Lars Eckenrode, who lowers his shoulder and levels Arslan. That's going to be a clear yellow card for Eckenrode, who was just beaten there.
If you're going to get a yellow card, you might as well earn it, and he certainly earned that one there.
Eckenrode got his money's worth. Zach Arslan with a nifty move in traffic, and
looked like he ran into a brick wall.
Yeah, absolutely. Eckenrode is a big boy. All of his 6 foot 390 pounds leveled into the chest of Zach Arslan there,
who is only 5'7", 150-pound freshman.
Yeah, I'm not
the matchup you want if you're Arson.
I haven't been studying my physics lately, but I imagine that's a lot of force.
And another stoppage in play here, it seems.
Yellow card issued to West Virginia bench.
The West Virginia bench has incurred a yellow card for one reason or another. I can imagine they were in a bit of an uproar after that foul was committed because it was a pretty blatant one.
That gives us 5 yellow cards on the day.
High cross into the box. It will fall into the waiting chest of Evan Loro. That was Piatek trying to send it onto the head of one of his attackers instead. Sends it right into the waiting arms of the Michigan keeper, who boots it up the field toward Tristan Jacob. Jacob can't win it. A West Virginia player on the ground after winning the header. Robbie Mertz lost the ball now, and West Virginia will play that one out of bounds. Throw-in from Michigan. Mertz flicks it over his head, and he is brought down by a foul. That's going to be number 28, Ivo Cabral. I'm not sure what the pronunciation is there, but regardless of what it is, he committed a foul, and Michigan will have a free kick about even with the top of the 18-yard side. A chance to send across and do some more damage.
Inside 10 minutes here for the remainder of the game, and there is no stoppage time in college soccer.
Curler into the box. Mertz waiting on the back end was bodied off by number 9, Ryan Kane.
Good play by Kane there to get physical and not allow Mertz to put one in to extend this lead even more.
Kane with a soft pass up to Driscoll. It's met and cleared out by Borges. Throwing now for the Mountaineers. It'll be taken by Zion Kane. Kane's throw over the head of the charging Driscoll. Borges plays it up ahead to Mertz. Mertz over to Jacobs. Tried to stop and get around his man. He is instead met and tackled with force. Mertz comes up with the ball, plays it back. Now Borges has it along the left side. With a soft through ball up the left side to McAtee. McAtee carrying it down low, lefty cross deflected and fielded by the keeper, Borner, who trips one of his own center backs. That was Jack Elliott going down on the play. Borner punts it up the field. Borges heads it high up into the air to himself, heads it back up the field. Now McAtee coming in with the high boots, unable to secure that one. West Virginia will have a throw in about at midfield. Kane plays it up to Jack Elliott. Long high ball up the field, headed out of bounds by Andre Morris. Throwing it in now. Number 9, Ryan Kane throws it up the right side, trying to find his man Piatek, running through. Piatek looking for a place to cross. Can't find anything. His pass is cut out by Serta, and Serta sends it into the crowd, or at least toward that front row and out of bounds. Quick thrown by the Mountaineers, handled by Kane. Kane back toward midfield. Finds his man, number 28, Ivo Cabral. Plays it back to Jack Elliott. They're in about the center circle right now. Elliott has the ball. Salula shading him toward his left. Long cross into the box is headed away by number 23, Anderson. Handled by Morris before it goes out of, no, not before it goes out of bounds. So that was Borges over there trying to corral that one, but West Virginia will have possession. They throw it down toward that goal line, and I believe it was Piatek and Borges fighting for the ball, and Borges kicked it out for a corner kick for the Mountaineers.
Mountaineers have evened up the corner kicks and shot counts. Michigan with 14 shots and 7 corners, and then the Mountaineers with 6 corners and 11 shots of their own.
Here places number 16, Jack Driscoll.
Rashawn Lamont coming in for the forward for the Mountaineers, Jack Driscoll. Piatek sends in a higher cross. The header is into the back of the net for a goal for the Mountaineers. And then, oh, man, there are going to be repercussions for that one. After the play, it looked like a West Virginia forward went for the ball, and now players are shoving each other on the field. Tempers are flaring here in this now 3-1 soccer game, 6:34 to go. What happened was, after the header off the corner kick, I'm not sure who scored it, but one of the Mountaineers went to grab the ball and bring it back up to the center circle, and he was met there by number 4, Billy Stevens, who kind of drop-kicked him back into the net.
And then when the Mountaineer went after Billy Stevens, Loro took offense to that and shoved him into the side of the net, and then it just got a big scrum right in front of the net. It will be interesting to see what comes out of here.
Yeah, what kind of justice is issued for that? As it stands, it's a nice corner kick goal. Not much Loro could have done with that off of a really nice high cross by Joey Piatek from the corner.
No, great play by the Mountaineers there. Just Michigan could not pitch the shutout today, which they still played well enough to, barring a miracle here, win the game.
Yeah, that one tucked into the side netting off of the head of, well, I'm not really sure, but I'm sure we'll find out sooner or later. There were a lot of bodies in there. I haven't seen or heard any cards issued since that altercation in the net.
And I feel they're just going to let it go, which I agree with that call.
Just let them play.
Just frustration. Boys will be boys, and there's no point in issuing out any red or yellows at this right here because there was fault for both sides.
I think it's just probably best for the refs to make sure that it doesn't escalate into anything further as this game trickles toward its dying moments. And throwing now soft contact into the back of Ryan Kane by Borges. The refs whistled Wolverines for that one, and it looks like they're going to call pretty much every little bit of contact for the rest of this one. Probably a wise decision. Long ball up the field. Loro going up for it. He is met from behind by a West Virginia Mountaineer. I think that was Rashawn Lamond. He was bodied out of the play. The ball was going to bounce over him and into the back of the net, but Billy Stevens tracked back and threw it out with his hands. Would have been interesting to see the ruling on that one, if not for the fact that Loro was clearly fouled.
That would have been a penalty kick because of a handball inside the box. And I remember watching a World Cup game back in 2010. I believe it was Japan. A potential game-time goal, a Japanese defender stuck his hand up and stopped the goal from going in. And the opposing team then had a penalty kick, which missed, and thus it paid off for Japan.
would have had to be a red card too, I would
Yes.
think, if it was that intentional.
Yes.
As it stands, it was clearly just a foul by the Mountaineers, who now have possession near midfield. A low through ball is squared up and knocked away by Morris. Over to McAtee, who kicks it up. It'll bounce into the first row of the crowd, where it's knocked back down toward the field of play. West Virginia will throw it in down to Lamont, who lost the ball out of bounds. The Wolverines now with the throw along the left side. West Virginia still frisky in this one.
A lot of fight out of the Mountaineers, despite there only being 4:50 left in the game and down 2 goals.
Throw in a lot of bodies, a lot of physical contact there as a foul is committed there by Robbie Mertz. The free kick will be taken by number 15, Joey Piatek.
And as you said, Morris, that now the refs are going to call any type of contact to keep this thing from getting any worse than it is.
Piatek along, it out by Eckenrode, and Mertz will boot it toward the sideline. He'll get out of bounds. Piatek, a dangerous weapon with the kind of curl he can put on a righty cross, but not able to find a West Virginia head there. Piatek, the throw in, handled by Merriam. Merriam met by a couple of Wolverines. He's trying to shield the ball, gets it back over to Piatek. Taking his time, the Wolverines just trying to contain the Mountaineers here. Trying a 1-2 with Merriam, but they're met, and the ball is cleared up the field by Serta. They'll send it back to Hayden Bennett. No, that's not Hayden Bennett. That was number 27, Griffin Lippard, who sent it in. Now across into the box. Header's handled by Lauro.
The header was by number 26, Hayden Bennett, harmlessly straight into Lauro. Here, they can't give up another quick goal.
And now clear foul just across midfield by Rashawn Lamont, trying to pull the jersey back of Ivo Serta. And it will be Lauro taking the free kick here. The Wolverines taking their sweet time walking back upfield, as
No point for them to rush at this time in the game.
3 minutes and 5 seconds remain in this one. Lauro, the boot up the left side, looking for the head of McAtee. Set it up into the air by Gray. McAtee fighting for it. The ball is won back by Yaman Salul. Over to Serta. Serta chops it between his legs, holds on to the ball. Gets it to Anderson. Anderson over to McAtee. McAtee fighting Gray for it. Plays it out to Serta. West Virginia boots back at the field. Borges. His pass up is deflected and knocked out of bounds now by Zion Gray. It'll be Borges throwing it in along the left side for the Wolverines. Clock stoppage now as looked like Thomas. Merriam threw the ball well out of the reach of Borges and out of play.
It looks like Shaka Daly having the words with the refs, disagreeing with some of their calls. The one thing he can't disagree with is the performance out of this Michigan team today.
Yep. Borges, after the throw-in, throws a high ball toward midfield. Haywood brings it down, sends it over to Rashawn Lamont. Now a ball played up the right side by the Mountaineers, and a lot of physicality there by number 10. Jad Arslan brings down Lars Eckenrode, and that'll be a foul on the Mountaineers. Minute 55 to go in this one. Michigan still with a 3-1 lead over West Virginia. Not very spirited in their attacking third any further, as all they need to do is prevent the impossible. Long ball up the field by Lauro, and coming through the back of Mertz is number 26, Hayden Bennett. A foul is called, and justifiably so. Mertz got decked.
And really, after that third goal by the Michigan Wolverines, there's been a renewed energy for the West Virginia Mountaineers.
Yeah, and even before that, before Atuahene got subbed back in the 2-0 game, West Virginia was generating some opportunities, but all Michigan really needed was for their stud freshman to come back in the game and put it out of reach. A lot of contact down there on the field. West Virginia just trying to settle the ball for a free kick.
50 seconds remain in this one. You can see the urgency in the Mountaineers.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be too little too late, even if they do manage to put one into the back of the net, as is Ryan Kane sending it across to a man on the edge of the box.
Good deflection there by Stevens.
Yep, that was Libhart. Michigan just deflecting it, sending it out toward the right side. The ball trickles through, and going the other way is Salul. He doesn't have a lot of pace. He stops, now sends a through ball, and it's a soft one looking for Mertz, who was through on goal if the pass was there. The pass, however, was not there. Libhart clears it up the field for the Mountaineers, bounces off, out of bounds off of Salul. Long throw for West Virginia. There's 10 seconds left in this one, and it looks like Michigan's going to walk out of here with a 3-1 win. Bodies flying around at midfield, and Serta just holds the ball with his hands before West Virginia can get a free kickoff. The clock has run out, and your final score here at Soccer Field is Michigan Wolverines 3, the West Virginia Mountaineers 1. The Wolverines get their first win of the regular season behind the hat trick from Francis Atuahene. Dalton, what are your thoughts on this one?
Well, I enjoyed watching it personally. It was a very physical game. And Atuahene, he just really awe-inspiring goals. I mean, Morris, who do you give the player of the game to?
I don't think there's any doubt that it's got to go to Francis. You know what? I'm going to give it to Lewis Thomas, the right bet. No, it's Francis Atuahene for the Wolverines. 3 goals, all of them just scintillating. And he is the reason why the Wolverines are walking out of here with a W.
Like you said, despite the amazing effort by the Michigan defense, just a suffocating first half, a very good second half, but defense doesn't get on the highlight reel.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, you can kind of forgive him for stepping off the gas a bit and giving up a goal in the second half, given the fact that they had that 2 and then a 3-goal lead. But, you know, there were ups and downs for the Wolverines today. They did not control the run of play the entire game, but Atuahene, man, he is something else.
He is a bright spot on this Michigan soccer squad. And now as the team walks over to celebrate with the Michigan Ultras and fans slowly making their way out of the stadium, just a beautiful day here at Soccer Stadium. I'd like to thank everyone from me and on behalf of my partner for letting us into your homes today.
Yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in. The fans are trickling out, and well, we're going to follow them pretty shortly from Michigan Soccer Stadium. For Dalton Pataki, I'm Morris Fabry. And for all of WCBN, we're going to wish you a good night and a go blue. Thank you for tuning in.